3 questions there, John. Give me the rundown, brother.
I'll throw some fire on the gasoline then. What if the gender reveal had gone the other way?
Well, if the gender reveal would have gone the other way, I think my 2 brothers would have been doing happy dances. They're younger and they don't have kids yet, and they would have been. They would have felt like the pressure was off them to at least, the name had been continued, right? They would have been like, "Woo, boy, dodged a bullet there."
Yeah.
But now the pressure's on.
Still on them.
Still on them. You just heard it there. It's officially on KCMO, and there's no lies that are ever told on KCMO. And you were just told by Kate that this is it. So we're done. That means pressure's on them. That's it. That's how it goes these days. So if it had gone the other way, I think they would have been very happy for maybe their own selfish reasons too. But that's beside the point. What's next?
What if Frank White doesn't meet the Jackson County Legislature's 48-hour timeline on getting back to them about the Royals plan?
If Frank White doesn't meet their timeline, I think they're going to have a lot of big, mean words, but nothing's going to come out of it.
Right.
So Frank White, the Jackson County executive, he basically was put under a 48-hour timeline to tell the county legislature, hey, what the heck's going on here with the Royals? You guys going to stay in Jackson County? You're going to go to Clay? Now there's this push to possibly keep him at Kauffman Stadium, which many of us have been saying for the better part of 2 years now. But either way, I don't think anything's going to come of this. I think Frank White knows there's no teeth to this deadline. But what it does do is it causes drama within the media and the public, as if the Jackson County legislature is not on board with the Jackson County executive. And if you're the Royals and you're about to make a $2 billion investment, that would make you say, well, do I want to do business in this county? When the executive doesn't like the legislature and the legislature, or I should say members of the legislature, can't stand the executive. And that's clearly what's going on here. This is petty politics as much as anything else.
Getting a lot of fingers in the recipes and the ingredients here.
Too many chefs in the kitchen, right?
There we go.
Too many chiefs, not enough Indians. Can you say that one? I mean, we got all the analogies we can use all day, but you get the point. There's way too much of that going on right now. And that's why I've said for the better part of 6 months, since Clay County became an option, you don't become as wealthy as John Sherman being a dumb businessman. And he doesn't need me to tell him this. You look at the tea leaves here, these 2 counties, which one is run more efficiently? Which one has better politicians? Which one would you want to bet the next 30, 40 years on, Clay or Jackson? I think it's a no-brainer, especially considering he's thinking about putting a stadium downtown where you're seeing a large increase in crime. And you've got homeless shelters in that part of town. I mean, it's a whole mess. But I don't think anything's coming out of this made-up deadline the legislature gave Frank White.
I would think Frank might dig his heels in even more.
Yes, you're right. I agree.
What if a 100-loss season is not as detrimental to a pennant-winning bounce-back as once thought in Major League Baseball?
Then the Royals can't sit there and say, "Whoa, we need more money to invest in the team to win games in this town." Well, did you see what was on the Fox News hit or hear what was on the Fox News hit earlier in the hour? Last night, of course, the Diamondbacks beat the Phillies to go to the World Series against the Rangers. These 2 teams, the Rangers and the Diamondbacks, each lost 100 games 2 years ago. Now they're in the World Series. The Royals are, 6 years into a rebuild? Being told, hey, we need this new stadium because we're going to have a ballpark village like the Atlanta Braves, and then we're going to use the monies from that to invest in the team because we just can't compete. Look at all the small markets who were in the playoffs this year. Milwaukee comes to mind. Meantime, a lot of the big markets were not in the postseason. New York, Boston, some of the California teams, they were nowhere to be found. So the notion that, hey, we're a small market, we lost 100 games, we've got, 5 years to go to turn this thing around. It's not the case based on the 2 World Series teams. And by the way, one of the big free agent splashes for the Rangers, Jacob deGrom, didn't even play this year. So it's not an excuse the Royals can use any longer.